I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching,
please don't sue me.
Yeah. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney.
I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney news and reviews.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e and we are less than 1 week away, or at least I am. I'm 1 week away from going to Disney World and I'm really excited. I got all my toiletries and stuff ready. Got that stuff done. The packing video will be up on Thursday, I believe, and then I'll do my last news and reviews before I go down on Friday. Also coming up this week, probably around Tuesday, will be the gathering portion of the how to go to Walt Disney World sort of thing. So yeah. Oh, also just real quick, if you haven't signed up for the Twitter account, totally do that, because that's pretty much where I'm going to be posting a lot of my updates is via Twitter. Yeah, so if you don't have a Twitter account, it is free to open a Twitter account, and you don't have to do anything with it. All you gotta do is go down and follow me, and you'll get all the updates from File91e during the time I'm down there. Also, because I know there's a bunch of you that already have Twitter, like Disney Blu-ray 411. He has a Twitter. His link's down there. He has a pretty cool Twitter account. He gives you updates on all the Disney movies and stuff, so so check him out. And it should be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to going. I mean, I'm like, it's so surreal right now. I'm getting everything all packed. I got my suitcase right here, got the unofficial guide right over there. Got my camera bag over here. It's crazy. I'm just getting everything all ready, and eventually it'll all come together, and Friday night, or Saturday morning rather, we will wake up and fly down. So it should be pretty fun. We got a bunch of news this week, so let's get right to the news. As of yesterday, Walt Disney World is 40 years old. It opened back on October 1st in 1971, and only the Magic Kingdom stood up. As always, Disney did it up and celebrated with a gala procession and a castle stage show. Also, a special edition of the Wishes fireworks show delighted those who were there. Videos of both are at various sites I put over, so check them out. www.magic.com, allears.net. Check those two sites. I know they have videos up, so it's it's really cool, especially www.magic.com. And it's pretty interesting to think how Walt Disney World has progressed and evolved into what it is today. It went from one park to 4 parks and a multitude of hotels and just different things. Really cool, really cool. Disney have now confirmed the timeline for the first of the new Fantasyland attractions to open up. First up, Dumbo will close in its current location in early 2012 of next year, obviously early 2012, and will move to take a position next to its twin in the new Storybook Circus Land. The new double Dumbo experience will open later in 2012, complete with indoor queue and interactive experiences. This confirms that the existing Dumbo ride will be part of the new Fantasyland, as there was much speculation as to whether an entire new ride system will be used instead. So no, they're going to keep the old one and mix it with the new to make something awesome. And also opening early in 2012 will be the Great Goofini, which is the rethemed Barnstormer attraction, and the completely rebuilt Fantasyland train station. So keep an eye out for those, especially if you're going down in early 2012. No definitive dates yet, but it's around there. Epcot has a brand new tip board located at the Innovations Plaza area, replacing the previous LED board that has been in operation since the Millennium Celebration upgrades to that area. The new tip board is an LCD display segmented into 4 display areas. Currently, the 2 left screens are being used for wait times, and the 2 right screens are being used for the food and wine information. And most interestingly, for displaying Twitter posts about the Food and Wine Festival, which is really cool. So if you tweet about the Food and Wine Festival, you might wind up on the Disney tip board. So, so check that out. The Festival of the Lion King at Disney's Animal Kingdom will be operating with a Fast Pass from today, October 2nd, to October 15th, which is when I'm actually shipping out. You can get your Fast Pass for any of the shows during the day from near the entrance of It's Tough to Be a Bug. I think this has something to do with the Lion King being out now, with the Blu-ray being out. Check that out, get that. And the movie, the 3D movie, still doing so well. I think people are going to, to see that more often. So they implemented a fast pass just to make sure everything stays smoothly. Via Napoli will once again be offering pizza by the slice from the outside counter window from October 1st to November 12th. No word yet on whether it will be the same fantastic pizza that is served inside Via Napoli, or if it will be the lower quality pizza that was served last time they offered by the slice. So I'm not sure what's going to go on there, so just keep an eye out with that. Pretty cool. I'll grab a slice when I go down there and test it for you. The 50s Primetime Cafe and the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater at Disney's Hollywood Studios have both eliminated their separate lunch and dinner menus and now offer a single menu at each location for both lunch and dinner. So check that out. Just remember that when you go down. The other restaurants in the Hollywood Studios area did that last year, so these guys kind of followed suit. And finally, the crane that is currently on site installing the dream lights at Cinderella Castle is now set to complete the work by October 3rd, with removal of the crane by October 4th. As always, these dates may change depending on weather depending on weather and scheduling updates. So yeah, that's a lot of news this week. A whole bunch of stuff was going on, getting ready to go down, and I'm really excited. Keeping an eye out for the refurbs and whatnot. Because I really don't want to have to go down there and have no rides be open. But we all know that would never ever happen. So yeah, let's get right to the reviews, or actually my top 10 Epcot attractions. Alright guys, as I promised you, these last 2 weeks before I go to Disney World, excuse me, I want to give my top 10 attractions at Epcot, and then the final one right before I go down, my top 10 attractions at the Magic Kingdom. So today, again, like I said, is Epcot. So let me give you some honorable mentions, the ones that didn't make my top 10. Again, these are my top 10 attractions, not based on my opinion and my experiences. Your experiences and opinions might differ from mine, but that's cool. That's what the comments section is for. So anyway, so here are 4 attractions, and these are attractions, not like stores or anything like that, because Epcot is full of other things to do that aren't rides that are on this list. So these are just rides. So I mean, Epcot's so big and so vast that you can not ride at all and still have a full day in. So just keep that in mind when you're going down. Anyway, here's some honorable mentions. Innoventions. I really don't consider this an attraction because it's more of a trade show sort of thing, and there is the Sum of All Thrills in there, but I haven't been on that yet. So maybe when I go down, Sum of All Thrills will move up in the ranking. Maelstrom, again, not in my top 10 rides, not top 10 favorite rides. The American Adventure, which is pretty cool, and finally Journey into Imagination. Those 4 rides are not in my top 10, so these are the honorable mentions. So kicking off the top 10 attractions at Epcot, or at least for me, File91e's top 10 attractions. Kicking it off is the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience or Captain EO, depending on what it is at the time. Right now it's Captain EO. After Michael Jackson died, Disney decided to do a tribute to Michael Jackson and keep Captain EO around for a little bit. It's kind of shaking up that whole theater, because it's been Honey, I Shrunk the Audience ever since the 90s, I think, and it's been pretty crazy. So it's actually a really cool attraction. It's a 3D show. It was one of the first 3D shows that Disney ever produced, and it was really well done. I like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience a little bit more than Captain EO. I went and watched Captain EO on YouTube. I haven't actually experienced it, the whole 3D yet, but the movie itself was okay. So the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience and Captain EO, number 10. Number 9 is the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the 3 Caballeros. I've always liked this just because this was one of the rides that this is usually my last ride in the park, because we go to Future World and then we do the World Showcase, and we start with Canada and work our way around to Mexico. We go counterclockwise as opposed to clockwise, and this is usually the last ride on the place, and it's a great ride to to rest your feet. There's a lot of air conditioning in there, so it's very nice, and it's a good little sit-down ride. There's never been too much of a wait for me. Never had to wait more than, I don't know, 10-20 minutes at most. It's pretty cool. I like the Mexican theme. I like going into the little temple thing that they have there. It's just a really cool place. I love the Mexican feel, and the Donald Duck, when they refurbed this and they put the three caballeros in there, they really did a good job in integrating them, and it's just a fun ride. It's the Mexican Small World, as I call it. So I really enjoyed that, the Grand Fiesta Tour. Number 8 is the Seas with Nemo and Friends. The actual ride for Nemo is okay, but I really like the aquarium setting that they have in there. They have a lot of fish in there. It looks really cool. There's a lot of interactivity with for kids. It's just been one of my favorite places ever since they opened Epcot. Back when it was the Living Seas. It was really cool, and but the ride is okay itself. The Nemo ride, how they integrate the characters from Finding Nemo into the actual fish tank is pretty interesting. But aside from that, it's just a ride. You get to sit down and chill out and see some fish. It's really cool. For me, the main appeal of the Seas is the other stuff that isn't the ride. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. Number 8 is the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Number 7 is Test Track. A lot of people would put that out in the top 5. For me, it's okay. It's a pretty good ride. It's very thrilling, but I kind of go a lot faster than what they do, every day going to work. So the thrill of riding in a car is not exactly, wow for me. Doing the actual tests beforehand is pretty cool because you're doing like hairpin turns and whatnot. And I heard that they're actually thinking about refurbing this, because the GM sponsorship is dropping out, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I'm kind of hoping that they would go back for another World of Motion sort of attraction, but I doubt they will. I mean, you could mix the two, have it start out real slow, and then all of a sudden, bam, go crazy with it. So I think there's a lot of potential for that attraction. So anyway, Test Track number 7. Number 6 is Living with the Land. This attraction I didn't think that I would like it because I hadn't been on it in a while, and I went back on it when I went down a couple years ago, and I really, really, really like this attraction. It's right next to Soarin'. It's constantly overlooked. It's a little boat ride where they take you, or they show you how Disney plants stuff. It's all about agriculture and different things, and then the beginning of the ride, it kind of starts slow, but as you actually get into see where Disney plants and grows all of its own vegetation, it's something really to behold. I mean, they even have Mickey ear pumpkins for crying out loud. I mean, that's just awesome. And they have like a fish thing where where they breed fish to be eaten and stuff for the different things. And from what I read, that the Living with the Land, the stuff that is grown in Living with the Land is actually used in the various restaurants in Epcot. So I think that's pretty cool. They're kind of recycling sort of thing. They're not wasting anything, which is technically what they're trying to show or trying to put over in Epcot. Don't reuse, recycle, energy efficient ways to do stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Living with the Land, number 6. Number 5, we're getting into the top 5, guys. Here we go. Number 5 is Turtle Talk with Crush. I really, really, really like this attraction. This was probably the first time I'd ever seen interactivity, real interactivity with actual people, and it's a lot more fun with kids because the kids can actually go up and talk to Crush and do things like that. The parents kind of just hang in the back and chill out. And it's not that big of a theater. Everybody kind of piles in and squishes in. But it still is comfortable. It's not crazy, but it's just really cool to see. Obviously there's a guy behind there who's puppeteering this image on a screen and talking to the different kids and whatnot. And I just think it's really, really neat, and it's just a really cool attraction, and I really think kids will like it. Number 4 is Mission Space. Now I get sick every time I get on this ride, but I still think it's one of the best rides at Epcot. It's very thrilling, very cool. it's just the feel of traveling in space. You really get that feel with the whole centrifuge working. And again, like I said, I do get sick each and every single time I get on this ride. It's not for the faint of heart, but that's why Disney has implemented two versions of it. There's the one that's the intense version and one that's the non-intense version. I mean, you still feel some stuff, but it's not as bad as the regular ones, you know. So both experiences, from what I hear, are pretty good. You just got to know your limits and pick which one you want, and you actually are separated into two lines with tickets and whatnot, just to make sure that you don't, you're not in the wrong one. So that's really cool. So number 4, Mission Space. Number 3 is Ellen's Energy Adventure. I love Ellen DeGeneres. I think she's hilarious, and you pair her with Bill Nye the Science Guy, and you're going to get magic. And this is what this attraction is. The beginning show, the pre-show, is really cool, and then eventually you go into this giant room where these, what you think is a theater seat, but really the theater moves, and you go through and you see, how energy was made from early on, and Bill Nye's spouting off a whole bunch of stuff, and Ellen's going crazy. And from what I hear, that they're actually planning a refurb for this, but they want to keep Ellen in it, and I hope they bring back Bill Nye and actually give this this attraction the love it deserves, because I think it's a very underrated attraction. I really like it, but then again, I'm a kind of guy that loves those slow moving rides where you get to look at stuff, and because I can go on a roller coaster anywhere. I can do the spinning stuff anywhere. I can go to a Six Flags if I want that. I go to Disney World to see the other attractions that nobody really gets to see. The attractions where there's an actual theme to it, where you actually got to listen and learn stuff, and that's why I love Epcot. Epcot's one of my favorite places of all time. Probably my second behind Magic Kingdom. So there you go. Ellen's Energy Adventure, number 3. Number 2 is Spaceship Earth. The big golf ball thing, yeah, that's Spaceship Earth. That geodesic sphere that is the Epcot icon, But there is a ride in there, it's called Spaceship Earth, and you go through the history of communication, and this has been updated many, many times to keep with the current times, and they update the narration, they update the music, and this is awesome. This is I'm just as excited for this ride as I am with all the other rides, if not more. I can't wait to get on this attraction when I go down. It's one of my favorite attractions in Walt Disney World. I like to see the history of the communication. I like to see the audio animatronics that they implement. The narration's awesome. They have this new little thing here where it's a screen where you punch in all your preferences, and then at the end they give you a simulation of what your life will be like in the future, and it's really, really cool, and I really enjoy it. Spaceship Earth is one of my all-time favorite attractions. Spaceship Earth, second favorite ride in Epcot. Now my favorite ride in all of Epcot, and you probably already know what it is, because it's probably the biggest attraction at Epcot. It's Soarin'. A lot of people don't like Soarin', or have told me that they didn't like Soarin', because all you do is you hang, and then you feel like you're being, you're actually soaring over California. But I don't know, there's something about the music, just the feel of actually hanging, and the wind blowing on you, the smells, the big screenness. I mean, it's awesome. This ride to me is just, it blew me away when I first went on it, and I knew instantaneously this was my new favorite attraction at Disney World, or I'm sorry, at Epcot, and I have to hit this ride each and every single time I go down to Epcot, and I'm sure my brother will tell you the same thing. He enjoyed it. Like for me, it was the music that really got me. I mean, just that sensation of going, and just whenever I feel down because I'm not at Disney World, I'll listen to this, and it'll really bring me back up. And because it's really something, it's something special, this ride. And I think it's one, if you don't get on this ride when you go down to Epcot, you're missing a lot. That's one thing. Even if you haven't been on it and you've heard people say bad things about it, go on it and experience it for yourself, because you might wind up enjoying it. So that's why Soarin' is my number 1 attraction at Epcot. Now, Epcot is one of the few places that there really isn't that many rides that many thrill rides. It's not like Hollywood Studios with the roller coaster, or Magic Kingdom with the roller coasters, or even Animal Kingdom with the roller coasters. But Epcot takes a lot of flack because it doesn't have as many rides and whatnot. But Epcot is special, and the people that like Epcot wind up loving it. They're the big fanatics about it, and plus it's one of the only places in Disney World where you can get beer. So if you're a drinker, you like beer, go to Germany, you'll be all right. Or sorry, the England pavilion, the UK pavilion. But yeah, so Epcot is one of my all-time favorite places, and I just gave you my top 10. It's really awesome. Check out Epcot. A lot of people will down Epcot because there isn't a whole lot of thrill rides, but there's a lot of stuff to be seen at Epcot, and especially for the older people. For kids, it's okay. They made it. They're trying to get kids more involved in Epcot, so they've implemented a few things. So, but Epcot is still, I think, a little bit more for the older generation. Like if you're in your 20s and whatnot, and you're kind of older, you'll enjoy Epcot a little bit more because you appreciate all the different little bits of architecture and the shops and whatnot, and the food. And so it's really, really cool. That's why Epcot is one of my all-time favorite parks in the world, right behind Magic Kingdom. So there you go, my top 10 attractions at Epcot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News Reviews. Stay tuned for next week where I give my top 10 Magic Kingdom attractions. I might even do a top 20, I'm not sure. But everybody should be here that is going on the trip with me, so I might, get them involved a little bit. I really am excited. You might not be able to tell because I'm kind of being chill right now, but I'm just totally, my mind is in so many different places right now. I'm just trying to get everything all ready. I got my stuff all gathered up. I'm going to basically go through this during the gathering video. It shouldn't be that long, just showing you how I got stuff all together. And then I'll do the packing video later. Then I'll do the final thing, top 10 or top 20 Magic Kingdom attractions. And then I'm off to Disney World. Crazy. I'm 5 days away. It's just totally blowing my mind right now. So yeah, if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. Not yet. Just wait till I'm back from Disney World, please. I really, really like you guys. I just want people to go to Disney World and have a great time and feel the magic. The magic's starting to trickle onto me right now. It's really cool. I'm just, I'm going crazy. It's starting to finally sink in that I'm going. So it's really awesome. Yeah, go to allears.net, touringplans.com, www.magic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is great too. Buy this book if you're going to Disney World. This will be a lifesaver, I promise you. Especially if you've never been, this will be a lifesaver. Buy it, read it, love it, enjoy it. So yeah, I'll see you all next week for another Disney news and reviews, and that'll be the final one before I go to the big WDW. See you guys.